Kendall, I think I gave you too much benefit of the doubt looking at your program. I went back and looked at the 2.03 program after looking at your 2.06 program, and there's just a lot of AI in this. I don't think you're writing as much as I thought you were writing, seeing how even the pseudocode. But let me kind of show what I'm talking about. I think if you'd have wrote the pseudocode and wrote the program, your program might at least match the pseudocode. It doesn't. And I don't know why that wouldn't. Let me show you what I'm saying. So I'm looking here. Here's your pseudocode. Begin the main function, display, prompt, store, prompt. This is very formal. Welcome to your wish list. Prompt user to enter the name of the first item. Store response as item one underscore name. Use string function. Okay, that's very, very detailed pseudocode. That'd be very impressive if you're actually writing pseudocode to this detail. Then you're prompting the user to enter the price of the first item. Store it as item one underscore price, use float. Prompt user, prompt user, prompt user, prompt user. You know what happens in your program? You never prompt the user. The user is never prompt at all. That's the first thing I noticed. Then you have the calculations, subtotal, multiply subtotal by 6.5% tax rate, set the shipping fee, calculate the total cost, output, display, display, display. Rounded to 2 decimals. And that's an interesting skill you've learned. We haven't studied anything about that. We haven't talked about how to round any numbers, but you have all of that. And then you have your questions answered down here. But let's take a look at your program compared to your pseudocode here, especially. Okay, let's take a look here. There's your name, date, all this good stuff. Auto output. All right, let's run it and see what all inputs you have. It never asked me anything. According to your pseudocode, it's going to ask me to enter the name of the first item and then enter the price of the first item. And then it was going to prompt the user to enter the name and say it didn't ask anything. It just assigned some values to items, assigned prices to items, and did calculations and printed. Well, I don't know why it has all these squiggly. It's not squigglied up here. You got something kind of weird. There's a weird format to your output. That's another thing that says AI, AI, AI. Because you got these weird formatting going on, and you are rounding, or because you're using some kind of squiggly thing. Well, actually, it's just printing that out exactly as that's typed. So there's nothing calculated here. This is actually typing it in. It says this is going to be $85. It doesn't say subtotal. See, subtotal is where it calculated it to be, whatever the subtotal is, which would be 15 plus 40 plus 30. But it doesn't use that. It just actually, it's going to print subtotal 85, even if I change the price. Let's say, okay, this right here is now, instead of $15, it's going to be $150. It still says it's $15. Still says I'm 85. It's even, there's just, yeah, maybe you had AI and then you tried to put your own in there. I don't know. It doesn't work, which is not even, I don't know. There's no inputs. I don't really see I can give this hardly any of a grade. I'll give it a very small grade because it looks like maybe you did some parts of it. But if you're having trouble with this, I have that new AI tutor that I put in Google Classroom. It won't write the program for you, but it will help you figure out what to write if you're struggling with that. Or you can come see me and say, I don't know how to do this part, or I'm trying to do inputs and I don't know how to get that input right. And you always have those how-to videos I have at the top of Google Classroom, which, interestingly enough, I had a brand new student start this week and had not done any programming in Python in the class she came from. I said, hey, here's these videos, watch the first 6. And afterwards she says, oh, this is stupidly simple. I'm not going to need your help to write this 2.06 program. Great. Now I'm going to wait and see if she can actually write it. But she's looked at all those how-to videos and went, "Wow, this is all there is to programming in Python." Okay, so I'm going to set this as a retry also, in case you want to actually write a program that does meet the requirements and that you're writing, and it actually would even maybe match the pseudocode. But anyway, I will get this feedback to you, and we'll see you in class.